friends, welcome back to my channel. It's time for us to unbox yet another OwlCrate box. This is the comic book edition, which I think is really interesting. You can see what the card looks like here. I am not someone who is super heavy into comic books. I have only ever really read the Walking Dead comic book series, and then I read like a few manga series here and there, but I'm not super hardcore into it. So when this theme was announced, I was kind of hesitant on it, and I wasn't sure I was gonna get the box, but then I kind of thought to myself, like, trust in OwlCrate, and spoiler alert, it's pretty great. So the first thing that we included in here was this Cafe Premium Coffee Candy. I actually pulled this out and tried one because I'm not someone who likes coffee. My next door neighbor at school, we share a wall. He's a big guy into coffee, so I was planning on giving these to him, but these actually really aren't that bad. They don't really taste heavily like coffee until you get down to like the last little bit of it, and then I kind of felt like I wanted to spit it out, but they're actually pretty delicious, so I was really pleased to see these in here. We also got this OwlCrate exclusive Wonder Woman adorable size candle. It's from Denver, Colorado, a company called, I think, Dio or D10 Candle Company. I am like indifferent on candles in my OwlCrate boxes. It's the one thing where I feel like it's kind of like a missed opportunity. I understand these boxes are heavy. This box felt especially heavy this particular month, but I would rather them put in a big candle or maybe more than just like a little sample size, because I've never had a small candle like this produce any scent throw. This one, oh my gosh, it smells just like a juicy fruit. I don't really know what exact scent notes are in here. Let's see if it tells us. Tropical Island Home. It has like that like tropical juice scent to it, and I really hope it does produce some kind of scent throw. I'm gonna try it in my bedroom, but that's like been my biggest complaint with these boxes. Whenever they put a candle in there, it just has never had a shot of being successful because it's so tiny. The other thing we got was this little, like, I think it's a keychain. They advertise it in here as like a zipper thing that you can put on your zipper. And I do have one jacket where the zipper is kind of a pain in the butt, but I don't know if I would necessarily want this comic book design on there, but it's a cute idea, and it says, like, as you can see here, zip, which is really kind of fun, but I'm not sure if I'd use it, but we'll find out. We also got the comic book pin in here, which I think is awesome because it has a redhead front and center, which I think is very nice. Then they included this like throwback pen. It's one of these pens that has all these different like color inks on it, which I really like. This I think could be a really cool pen to use while I grade. I'm somebody who uses like different color gel pens to write my comments on student papers, but this is really handy because you have all these shades in one. So I think I'm gonna try this and see if it writes pretty easily, and if it does, it will become my new grading pen real fast. We also got this chapter from a comic book called Afar. It says the nameless city meets Star Wars in this epic young adult fantasy adventure with the spirit and spunk of Delilah Dirk and the Turkish lieutenant. It's a post-industrial desert wasteland. 15-year-old Fatima suddenly develops the ability to astral project to other planets while she sleeps. When she accidentally gets a young man hurt on a planet light years away, she must figure out a way to project back to save him. On her own world, back in her own body, Fatima's parents have temporarily left her and her 13-year-old brother, Inotu, to make a living as salt shepherds. This is very exotic, but I think it's interesting. The pictures in here are really beautiful, and it says on here that it's 168 pages full color. I'm very intrigued to hear that because I'm not, like I said, big into comic books, but the friends that I have in my life who are heavy into reading them talk a lot about how comic books typically aren't in color because it would be too expensive to produce them. So I feel like this is probably more of like a comic book, not necessarily a series, but like a comic book. That sounds grammatically wrong, but I don't know the other way to say that. But either way, I think it's really cool that it's all in color. I think it just makes the comic book even more interesting. So I'll definitely read it, but I don't think I'll be buying the book because I'm not super into the plot line or the premise thus far on reading the back. But we also got this, I think it's from the same artist. This little like card that goes with it, which I think is really, really pretty. I basically started to collect these from my OwlCrate boxes and to laminate them, and I'm going to hang them around my classroom because I think I mentioned this before, I don't have any windows in my classroom, so I'm really big on decorating my walls with student work and other work like this, just because if you're not going to look at my face, at least you can look at something else and not feel like you're in a prison cell is kind of my philosophy. So I think it's really pretty and just really interesting, so I like this drawing a lot. Moving on to what I think is like one of the most exciting things in this box. It is a Pop Marvel little like vinyl bobblehead, and there were 7 different ones they sent out, and I saw a sneak peek of someone's box and I thought to myself like, God, I really hope I get this one, and it's Loki from the Thor movie franchise. You guys should know I am really big into the Marvel movies, and I've never delved into actually reading the comic book series. The only one I've ever really been tempted by is Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm a huge nerd for that movie franchise. I just like love all the characters. I love the acting of it. I literally watch the first edition, the volume 1, almost every single week. I'll put it on and like I'll grade in the background, like without fail. It just to me is the perfect movie to get me in the right mood for grading. So I think he is just freaking adorable. I have no idea where I'm gonna put him. I think he might end up going on my vanity. I've seen these all the time, all around the place. Like I've seen Gilmore Girl ones, and I'm not someone who's big into collecting stuff like this, but if it's in my OwlCrate box, I'm cool with that. And especially because it's Loki, and he's my like favorite out of the Thor franchise. So real excited. Real excited about that. The last thing that we have is the book that came in this month. This is the Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. She's the author of, it says on here, Made You Up and The Children of Hypnos, I think is the right word for it. The cover of it is really interesting. I really thought they were going to put a graphic novel in here, and I wouldn't categorize this as a graphic novel. Like as I flip through it, there's like a illustration here and there, but for the most part, it's like a text-based book. According to the author, she said, Eliza and Her Monsters is a love letter. I wrote it for everyone who has ever been obsessed with a book, TV show, or movie. I wrote it for anyone who has come face to face with their inner monsters, and especially I wrote it for an 8-year-old me who was shy and weird and who loved stories so much she decided to try making one of her own. If you love stories, and I know you do because you got this wonderful box, Eliza and Her Monsters is for you. If you live in a world of fan fiction and fan art, Eliza is for you. If you struggle with your doubts, fears, and insecurities, it is for you, and I hope reading it reminds you that for every sea filled with monsters, there is a sky full of stars. She sounds really cool, just for the record. The premise of this book, according to the inside flap, it says, in the real world, Eliza Merck is shy, weird, and friendless. Online, she's Lady Constellation, the anonymous creator of the widely popular webcomic Monstrous Sea. Eliza can't imagine enjoying the real world as much as she loves the online one, and she has no desire to try. Then Wallace Warland, Monstrous Sea's biggest fan fiction writer, transfers to her school. Wallace thinks Eliza is just another fan, and as he draws her out of her shell, she begins to wonder if a life offline might be worthwhile. But when Eliza's secret is accidentally shared with the world, everything she's built, her story, her relationship with Wallace, and even her sanity, begins to fall apart. It sounds really intriguing. I'm really into it. It reminds me in like a very basic, limited way of a Rainbow Rowell book, which I read called Fangirl. It was also like set on the premise of a fan fiction writer. I actually haven't done a whole lot of fan fiction exploration. I don't know why. I have mixed feelings about fan fiction. I just feel like it's a cool concept, but I also don't like it because I don't want the world the authors built to be changed. Like I feel like the integrity of what they wrote should be left alone. But I also like that it gives people an outlet to like really explore these worlds I'm in love with based on what the author originally wrote. So I don't know, if you know a lot about fan fiction, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on it. Because like I said, I haven't delved a lot into that realm, but I hear a lot about it, and I'm definitely somewhat curious about it. Also, if you have any like graphic novel or comic book series that you think I would really enjoy based on what you know about me, let me know in the comments below, because I do want to do more of those types of readings. I think it's another way to further develop your reading skills, and it gives you another way to interact with text, which I'm always all about. But all in all, despite my like reservations on this box, I'm really happy with it. And next month's box is Make It Out Alive, which That sounds real interesting. So I'm looking forward to it, and June means that summer will be here soon for me. I'm out of school June 23rd, and so then I can like do nothing but read all day, every day, and it's gonna be magical by the pool. I can't wait for it, but enough of me talking. I'll talk to you guys in the next video real soon. Bye.